Houston on Saturday afternoon. It did not start well. When we got to Houston on Friday afternoon, the hotel had some problems, and there was a fire in it, and it lost all the electricity. So George Wynn, our assistant athletic director for football operations, did an amazing job of having us change hotels right in Houston on Labor Day weekend without too much distraction. The kids were out in the hall for about 2 hours, so they had to wait to get in. We had to cancel our movie on Friday night. So for that many young ones we call it sudden change in football, when there's a turnover and you have to change what you're doing and how you're doing it. And we felt like that the staff and the kids did an amazing job of handling that. I love Reliant Stadium. It's one of the beautiful stadiums out there right now. It's fun to play in. To see 70,000 people, mostly in orange, was a lot of fun. And it was such a credit to our fans to come, and I thought a great credit and a lot of respect for our team. We have great respect for Rice and David Bailiff, and they're better. They played better than what we saw on film last year. They played hard on defense. They played tough. The quarterback, the young guy from up here at Vista Ridge, did a good job for them. He was going to be in the group that played in the national championship bass fishing tournament, collegiate national championship during 2-a-days. And I told him if he'd have come to Texas, we'd have let him go. So but he's a good player, and he'll do a good job for them. We've won 11 straight openers now, and that's important. It scares you to death. The one in '99 was kicking game issues and turnovers, and when you win your 11th straight, you're excited, and we wanted to be 1-0, and we are. We had 70 scrimmage plays plus the kick plays. Most any of our defensive players played. Most plays were 51. Our offense, we had one player play 70. We had a slow start on defense, but we said during the week we would play base defense until we saw what they were doing. And they came out with a different quarterback than we thought. They came out with a different offense than we thought. They had a 2-back offense that ran zone read. For people to think, as much as we've run zone read around here, we should have been able to defense it. It's different when you don't have a look at it every day, and that's something that the guys quickly adjusted to. I give Will a lot of credit for his adjustments during the game, because the second and third quarters we played really, really well and basically shut them down. We had 7 3-and-outs during the game, and 3-and-outs and turnovers are what we're trying to force. We forced 2 turnovers. We should have had 2 more. I'll talk later, but we should have blocked a punt, and we had our hands on 2 interceptions that would have led to scores, and we dropped both of them. So we've got to do a better job of holding on to the ball. Our defensive staff and our offensive staff look at explosive plays differently, but we held Rice to 2 explosive plays, both passes. They were 4 out of 14 on third downs, and we need to really learn from the deep pass before the half. That's the old LSU pass that beat Kentucky a number of years ago. We weren't aware on the field as players about how much time was left. An interception wouldn't have mattered. It was going to be the last play of the half or one more Hail Mary, and we should have batted it down instead of going for the interception. And that's just something you learn. And the guys will look at that today. That may save us a game later. So sometimes critical plays that you do not handle well in a game can really help you, because as much as you say bat the ball down, they weren't aware there were 4 seconds left, and they needed to be aware. We harped so much on turnovers that they wanted the turnover more than batting the ball down, and that ended up could have cost us a game later on. So that was a great deal that we messed up that we can learn from. Second team needed to play better in the fourth quarter. We didn't tackle very well when they went in, and we were disappointed in them, and they could have stopped Rice at the end after the fumble punt. Rice put some of their starters back in, and our guys should have stepped up and played better. But we didn't play as well and missed too many tackles with that group in the fourth quarter. The player of the game defensively is Keenan Robinson. The hard hat award on defense goes to Kenny Vaccaro. The ball hawks are Sam Acho for stripping the ball with great containment as their quarterback turned to go back, and Keenan Robinson for the interception and the pickup fumble. Offensively, we stayed pretty simple. It's amazing in a first game not to have any fumbles, no interceptions, and no sacks. That may be the first time we've ever done that, and we're proud of the guys for doing that. We won explosive plays the way the offense counts them, 7-4, and we were 4 out of 5 in the red zone. The one obvious one, meaning that we didn't score, we had a missed assignment on the sweep. A linebacker ran underneath instead of outside, and we just missed him and caught us for a loss. If we had it to do over, we would have run a power run of some type and run straight at them and scored instead of going sideways. We rushed for over 200 yards. We had 2 losses that kept it at 197 for the game. Cody Johnson sprained his ankle on the second play of the game. We weren't aware of that because he wouldn't tell us. He was afraid that if he came out, he wouldn't get to go back in. So we kept him out because he wasn't cutting as well. After early in the game, his ankle started swelling on him. He even went back at the latter part of the game, and we didn't know it. And then yesterday his ankle was swollen. He'll probably not practice tomorrow, but hopefully we'll have him ready for the game on Saturday. But I thought it was a true credit to him that he worked so hard to get back in the game and didn't want us to think that he was being soft because he worked hard enough to get that playing time. This is the first time since '05 that we've had 3 running backs in a game gain more than 50 yards, and we felt like all 3 running backs played well. We did not block downfield well with our wide receivers and felt like that cost us some explosive plays in the running game. And what happened on the couple of plays, that the running plays that did not make yards and do well for us, we didn't do a good job cutting off the backside. And sometimes in pre-practice when you don't cut, they have to learn from that. We should be much better at cutting off this week than we were last week against Rice. We missed on a 3rd and 2 and a 4th and 1. That's obvious. That's what everybody will talk about because those are things that will lose you a game. You cannot run the ball and mess up on short yardage. We've been great on short yardage till last year and goal line, and now we've got to pick it up and do better. We did get 7 out of 14 third down conversions, which is really good. We didn't finish some drives well when we had really good field position. Our kicking game put us in good field position, and we didn't close. Malcolm Williams was the player of the game offensively. We're really proud of him that he stepped up and caught the ball and blocked, and he played the best of the receivers. The offensive lineman of the game was Michael Huey. He had some pancakes and did really well. The big hit of the game was Mason Walters. He knocked a guy, he decleated him, knocked him down and put him on his back. And the biggest contributors of the game were Trey Newton and Garrett Gilbert. You go back and ask, how did Garrett do in an opening ball game? And John pulled up numbers of Colt McCoy's first game. Colt completed 12 of 19 for 178 yards and 3 touchdowns against North Texas in '06. Vince Young's first game in '03 as a starter against Iowa State, he was 11 of 15 for 136 yards, 1 TD and 1 interception. And Garrett was 14 of 23, 172 yards. And he could have had 2 TD passes. Both of them got, one of them, Marquise gets knocked out at the 2, and John Childs gets pulled down at the 1. So he probably got cheated a little bit and no interception. So we felt like Garrett did a good job for an opening game. Special teams, we did really well. We can still improve, but our kickoff coverage held them to a minus 25-yard line starting position. But we were still inconsistent with our kick and our coverage some. We missed a couple of tackles. Our kickoff return started at our 42-yard line as compared to their 25. We thought it was very good. They refused to kick it deep to our fast guys, and Eddie Jones, Ryan Robeson handled the short kicks really, really well and returned them well, and I thought that group was very efficient for an opening ball game. The punt, block, and return group was inconsistent. We missed on a block that we just were there, and we just didn't go ahead and block it. We also fumbled a punt at the end that the game was basically over. We were trying to get Case McCoy in the second some more shots, so we put in a bunch of young guys up front and just wanted to fair catch the punt and work on offense with the younger guys, get them another 6-8 plays, and then we fumbled a punt, so we can't do that. And there was another punt, the punt that we should have blocked. We lost 70 yards in field position, to show you how it matters during a ball game, because the young man just killed it. And we still had 10-yard average on the punt returns because Curtis and Aaron had chances to score on one. The punt was just okay. The punting was okay. It wasn't great. We had one inside at the 15, but the first one had a chance to be blocked. So we've got to do a better job in that area. Extra point field goals were perfect. Our extra points were perfect. We were 2 of 4 in field goals. And one of them was probably a little long. It was a 54-yarder, and I stretched him because we're trying to find out the range in a ball game. Most valuable players with the special teams, Jamison Berryhill and Christian Scott. Freshmen that played, there were 12 true freshmen and 6 redshirt freshmen, so 18 freshmen played.